championships
Final
versus
wins.
LeBron versus him having like points and everything. It's like, bro, I think the right comparison, because I've had so many conversations about music and who's the best, and I think like it really can't, there is no best unless you define the parameters of that, because like I don't know, I personally like to say like who's the best like center, who's the best shooting guard, who's the best power forward, because like a center has a different role than a point guard does, and a shooting guard has a different role than a power forward does, you know what I'm saying? Like
Hmm.
I don't know. That's just how I feel, because like championships, you could really say Bill Russell because he has 10 type shit.
True. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's yeah. Yeah. If you're going off of championship, fuck yeah. Well, fuck it. We'll negate. I don't give a shit. If we're going off of championships alone, yeah, one could say Bill Russell. One could also still say MJ because of stats, of team, of chemistry, and then of wins. Because it was because Bill Russell, I'm pretty sure it wasn't 10 wins in a row, but for MJ, it was 3 wins in a row. That's a dynasty. That means you're running shit. You're running the NBA. That is what you're doing. And like
Yeah,
right now, we're in the handshake era of shit. That wasn't the case back then, and that wasn't the case with
yeah,
Bill Russell either.
yeah. I agree.
So
I mean, even like with LeBron, like smiling with like Anthony Edwards in like the middle of the game, like or at the end of the game, bro. It's like, come on, man. Like, where's like the LeBron on the Miami Heat that was like leaning over, like all mad, like against the Spurs?
fuck that. Where was LeBron when they came back 3-1 against the Warriors? I like that LeBron too. I also like the Steve Nash. I also loved who's that fucking guy from Celtics? What's his name? I can't remember his name all of a sudden.
What
Fucking
position does
fucking
he play?
he was at I'm pretty sure he was at a power forward or fucking
Jason
what the
Tatum, Jalen Brown,
fuck?
Al Horford,
No, tall white guy, blonde hair. No, he was on
Larry
the
Bird.
Lakers. Larry Bird.
Larry Bird.
Larry
Oh, you're talking
Bird.
about older players.
Yeah, I didn't think you were talking about like pastime.
I was because I was talking about like he was talking Cam was talking about that kind of energy, and I was like, okay, well, Steve Nash had that kind of energy. LeBron had that kind of energy on the Heat, and when he was going against the Golden State Warriors, Larry Bird always had that kind of energy. He never stopped chirping, talking shit, being physical. Fucking Shaquille O'Neal was that same fucking way. Like that kind of stuff. Like that isn't the case anymore. That's not the case. Fucking Rondo, when he was on the Celtics, was and Dwight Howard. Like these are physical motherfuckers. They can't. I mean, obviously you can't be doing that shit now. Well, you get ejected and shit. But that was. I guess me personally, I'm negating again. I guess I just missed that kind of ball. That's just me personally, though.
Yeah, I think everybody
Um,
does, and that's why I think the viewership is like a little lower, and that's why the NBA is really seeing like dips in the viewership, is because one, I think the refs are really throwing, bro. Like every time I see a clip of the NBA, it's like always like a terrible call, bro. Like for real, like the
it's
refs
had
like piss me off in the NBA now. Like
it's
it's
had an
so sad,
NBA,
bro.
man.
Like and the lack of physicality like pisses me off too. It's so refreshing to watch like hockey, bro, because like that when all the nations verse each other in hockey, there was like fights, and that was like great to see. Like after watching the NBA for a few years, like all these NBA fight clips you see are literally like them just like running up to each other, like pushing each other once, and then their teammates hold them back, or like the refs hold them back. Like there's no actual fight, bro. There was like CP3 and Rondo, but like when was like the other fight? Like Isaiah Stewart didn't even really get in like any fights this year, bro. Like they all like try and make it seem like he does, but like he really like I classify like a fight as like a fist fight. So it's like
Oh yeah.
to me like the last fight in the NBA was like the last real fight was CP3 versus Rondo.
I always wondered when it came to all the associations with sports. Um, do they try to relate their rules to one another when it comes to ejections in relation to physicality? For example, um, just to agree with Canvas here, I think the two biggest sports that fumble a lot when it comes to ref calls are the NBA and the MLB. You can agree or disagree with me on that one.
LB, yeah, for sure.
But,
NBA.
but yeah, NBA, MLB, and the NFL is right up there. It's close fucking third. Real close fucking
Almost
third. There's
almost every sports like umpire or ref analysis has got controversy, especially natodays.
straight the fuck up, yeah.
Like like me watching the Stanley Cups playoffs, there's calls and I'll just be like, that's total BS.
or like when I'm on,
NFL, they'll be like, uh, what's the one of the penalties like rushing the passer, and they're like
oh,
they'll just
rushing
be
the
like
passer, pass
they'll
interference,
be like yeah
unnecessary
they'll
roughness.
call that they'll just say that's some like they'll call it a penalty and be like no like clearly not. Some refs are too soft, some refs are just hardcore and they won't call anything.
I like those refs. Those are my kind of refs. But yeah,
You
to
see it a lot
go,
more when it comes to playoffs
yeah,
because a lot of refs will try and let things slide to let the play happen. Whereas in postseason, they'll call anything because yeah.
yeah, they'll either call anything or not call shit because it's postseason.
Hmm.
But I always
Goldie, I think
had
you cut
a
out.
hello. Am I good?
You're here. You're
You're
here.
good.
Okay. But I wondered if all the associations in relation to sports had a reference sheet reference when it comes to ejections in relation to physical altercations in games. For example, if for example, yeah, for example, corner wide receiver, they're going to be aggressive to each other versus a nose tackle and a left guard. One is definitely going to be more physical than the other one, and sometimes when that shit happens, normally what I see is just a personal like a personal foul, and it's like a 15-yard penalty. Then next time they get ejected. Versus in the NBA, one single fight happens, that guy's ejected. Versus in the MLB, if in the MLB, if a pitcher even gets remotely close to hitting the batter, and the batter has probable cause to why is he hitting me? Why would you do it? Obviously, he's gonna rush the stand. Like he's gonna rush the fucking field and whoop that pitcher's ass. He's
Well,
trying to
that
knock
makes
his ass
sense,
out with
I guess.
yeah, he's trying to knock his ass out with like an 85 to 90 on average, 85 to 90 mile per hour ball.
Yeah, you
In
don't want to
hockey,
get
it
a
works
welt from one
differently.
of those things, man.
Well, yeah, but in hockey, it works differently. Like under certain rules and parameters, two people can box. Like literally throw fucking hands.
There's no rule for it. You just do it, and then it's a penalty.
That's what I'm saying. Like no one's ejected, it's a penalty, but you're still throwing hands. The refs are just
Yeah.
ref from the fight now. I was always super curious about like that, like if they all ever talked about it was just a random side thought I had
Talked about what?
how to handle physical altercations in the respective
Well, even
sports.
hockey was trying to crack down on the fights and make it more family friendly and stuff like that too. And
Yeah.
I was
They
like,
fail.
bruh, like it's like all the sports are like trying to like change a
They
little
like
bit.
early
Not,
2000s.
I don't like it.
Like late
I mean,
Early
2000.
2000s was like prime sports, bro, for sure.
yeah,
Hell
early
yeah, hell yeah.
2000s and back for hockey. Big hits, fighting happening. Now, like you get a big hit here and there, might get a penalty for it. They barely let them fight.
Dude, fucking
Like they let
almost
them like shove each other, but then the refs are in there almost a second later to break it up.
bro.
Yo, yo,
I,
yo,
I'm,
yo. Big A, you
huh,
here? Is
that's
he
you,
is he
Sasha,
here?
by the way. Sasha.
Is Sasha here?
I don't
Sasha.
think
I don't know. Maybe he disconnected.
He's been on mute.
Yeah, he's muted.
All right. Okay. Yeah, but I think the
Uh,
2000s was a good era, bro.
Yeah.
I think in the NFL, like, that shit lasted until like probably like 2015, 2016. Because if everyone else remembers the Legion of Boom, that was a whole different fucking era. That was you had monstrous hits happening every other fucking play. Refs not calling it,
Hmm.
or just saying intentional roughness and just giving them 10, 15 yards and just calling it good.
Hmm.
You had people leaving the field on stretchers like every other game. Like that's core. That's what a contact sport is. That's what it is.
Well, I
Or
don't know about like people leaving on stretchers after like every football game type shit. Like
okay,
that's a little.
all right, bet. Let me clarify here.
That's a little like crazy. I'm
Let me
not gonna
clarify. Oh,
lie, man.
let me clarify. I got you. Let me clarify. You get a leg injury, you leave in a stretcher. You get a back injury, you leave in a stretcher. You get a head injury, you leave in a stretcher. If it's like, unless it's like an arm injury, or like
I mean,
yeah,
just because
unless
you
it's
leave
like
on
a,
a stretcher don't mean you're out
you're
for the
leaving that.
game.
Yeah, exactly. You're leaving that stretcher. Doesn't matter what kind of injury it is for the most part, unless it's like a maybe an arm or like a minor ankle injury. You probably leaving the gator, but other than that, you're probably leaving a stretcher. Like, fine, to make it more family friendly, you're probably going to be out of the game for the remainder of that game. Is what I mean. If
I mean,
people were
just
being injured.
end of the day, sports aren't as physical as they used to be.
Indeed. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, concussions are bad. They're horrible. They can kill you. Injuries are bad. They're horrible. They can.
But it's crazy because like with today's technology, like we have the equipment that like stops a concussion back then to what equipment they used to have. So it's like, why are we lighter on our hits now when we have the equipment that's not going to cause as much pain?
I don't think they're
Exactly.
lighter on the hits. Where are you guys getting that from?
No,
I mean, like
hold on.
hockey, like they aren't railing into each other. Like they're
I
not.
know.
Just,
A better question to ask Cam is, what sport are you relating that question to?
Football
just say hockey, football for sure. Their helmets, like
and hockey too. I don't think they're hitting each other lighter, bro. Like what?
Hockey players are more padded up than fucking football players. Then again, they're going faster, but they're padded up to the fucking teeth. You and fucking Witzer were both used to be hockey players, right?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I
So
played
you
for a
guys
few
know,
years.
you guys, like, I was a football player. I'm getting shoulder guard helmet and some half-ass leg pads. That's what I got. If I want more shit, I have to go out and get more shit. Unless coincidentally in the outhouse they coincidentally have more equipment for like maybe my upper back or maybe my tailbone or my hips. But for you guys, your arm like you guys got some pretty good fucking padding. If you get hit hard in hockey,
No, I got hit
me
hard in
per
hockey. I broke my arm, so
I got hit hard one time in football. Fucked up my leg. I stretched and I got back on the field.
The only time I've gotten like rocked before by getting hit in hockey, but like the only time I got injured was when I like slipped, honestly, because I didn't get my skate sharpened in like a minute. So, but I don't know. I've
You
also
mean like
fucked some people up too. I mean,
you mean
but
like
that's what I'm
you did
saying. Like,
yourself?
I don't know like where are you getting that people are like hitting lighter from? Like,
maybe not hitting lighter. I just feel like the physicality of sports aren't as much like isn't as shown as it used to be. Like we
well,
said,
when you
early
say
two
sports,
thousands.
what are you talking about? Like, who are you talking about?
Like
It's
hockey,
in general, dude.
like in
Like,
general, sports used to be more physical. Like
yeah, like in
like
general, yeah, like football. Like we just talked about this in NBA. In the NBA, you touch anyone who's going for a layup or a dunk, you're gonna get called for a personal. It might even be a fucking tech as well. In football,
Yeah,
you
if you're
get you
Draymond
get you
Green,
yeah. But in football, if you get hard, if get hit super hard. Like as far as probably back in like 2015, plus below minus, they're probably gonna call that uh unintentional roughness. That's a 10 to 15 right there. And I don't know. I can't speak for hockey. I don't watch hockey that much. I can speak for baseball though. When it comes to baseball, if a pitcher even gets close to hitting a fucking batter, they're gonna get a warning or ejected, or they're just gonna get ejected on the spot. Like
Yeah.
they don't fuck around. I mean, with the baseball one, I told the kid that shit can fuck you up for sure. Like you said yourself, you're gonna get a nasty welt wherever it lands. And imagine it lands in your face. What if it hits your arm? Can't bat. What if it hits your leg? Can't run. Football's the same concept. NBA is the same concept, but except you have no padding in the air. At least in baseball, you got a helmet. You might have an elbow guard too. But in the NBA, you get hit wide going for a
I mean,
layup.
old baseball, like back like 1900s era, like they didn't have the equipment they have now. They didn't have fucking elbow guards and shin guards for when they're up on bat.
Right.
So like I'm just like what I was originally saying, like how things aren't as physical out there is like the equipment's different than it was then, but yet then they were way more physical with each other, but the equipment wasn't as good. But today's technology, I have a hockey helmet that is more pro against causing a concussion. Like it helps with helping not getting concussion. Same with football. But back then, football helmets weren't as great as they are now. But they were hitting each other left and right way more out there. Why are
Well,
they?
yeah, bro, and like that all goes to like science, bro, because like especially with football, I'm talking about because football and boxing are like, bro, you can damage your brain so quickly. Like I pulled this up and it
Mhm.
says American football is a sport that involves approximately 1.5 million young men with an estimated 1.2 million injuries sustained annually. So that's every year.
Mhm.
So,
Let's
I
also
mean, I don't know. If I
put
played
both sides.
football, bro, I would not want to be like taking hella hits, bro. Like because
Oh,
you,
nobody is.
especially like as like a runner, I feel like quarterbacks can kind of like get away with it a little bit because like they're not like taking like head on like hits, but like the people that do like the runners and like the linemen, um, bro,
I
like
feel like the linemen are the best for not getting hit because all they're doing is dealing with holding off. They don't
All
have a guy
right.
charging them to
yeah,
tackle
but
them.
they're on the
All
front
right.
line, literally like clashing like every play against like another person, bro.
So like, okay, so we're talking football specifically. When it comes to the QB, if like QB, okay, so that's what sacks are. You
Yeah.
sack the QB. Like me personally, as a nose guard, which is the guy who's like right in front of those five linemen, or as a middle linebacker. So there's those two, and then there's three behind them. Like I'm the guy in the middle. I have two objectives. My first objective is to see if they're gonna do a run or a pass play. My second objective is if it's a run, I'm going right through that line, and I am slamming whoever has the ball. And if not, if they're going for a pass, I'm seeing who's open, and I'm slamming whoever's getting the ball, or whoever the QB's throwing the ball to. This like this is not a case of all right, let's see what it is. Try to tackle it. No, we want to absolutely lay out whoever's got it. If it's the QB, that's all the better. We fuck
Yeah,
up the
I know.
QB.
Whoever has
Guess
the
what
ball
happens?
is the number one target to be hit. Like that's
And
how it
it's
goes. You want
and
the
it
ball.
and it's much better if it's the QB because we fuck up the QB. Guess what? QB's out of the game. They got
All
to
I'm
bring in second
saying,
string.
all I'm saying is I think it's like a little bit of the players getting paid too much, and also I think it's like the refs, man, because like I think the officiating in like every sport has just been pretty bad, like what we were talking about earlier. But like players getting paid so much, like the NBA, bro. Like if you get $50 million for like 4 years, like that's 20 or $50 million for 4 years. That's like how much is that over 4 years?
It's like 12.5.
Oh,
Twelve
there he
point
is.
five
There's
million,
Sasha.
bro. Like
Is that-
would you
is
like
that-
be like grinding as hard? It's like the McGregor situation. Like when
Yeah.
McGregor was down and like in the dumps and stuff, like he was grinding and stuff. Like when he got like $500 million or whatever after fighting Floyd, he like stopped caring. He became like a different
Yeah.
person type
Yeah,
thing.
but
So
like,
I don't know. I just think players get like paid like crazy amounts, bro. Like crazy amounts.
Oh yeah. If you
I
want to see crazy amounts, look
And
at baseball. That's got the craziest amount of
And I say that to
salaries on.
say, I say that to say that may be a contributing factor to like, oh, like you're grinding your whole life. Now you're making like tens of millions of dollars over like a few years. Like, bro, like you don't really like have to like try as hard. Like you don't need food on the table. Like you have everything. Like you could really
Yeah.
retire after a year or two and be set for the rest of
I
your life.
I have to disagree with you. You're looking at it from one side. Now look at that from the other side. Now you talked about, like you talked about, Kevin, what you talked about, MLB pays crazy, whatever. Yeah, yeah. NBA does too. So the highest paying NFL player right now, and I believe is Dak Prescott. Pretty sure he has a 200. He has a 4 year, $240 million contract. So that's 60 million a year. Now, you're saying that what Cameron is saying is, I'm getting paid good, therefore I got because I got a contract, therefore I got to try that hard. Now let's see from the other side. I am a high paying athlete. At any moment, if I fuck up or if I don't live up to those expectations, eventually one of these days, someone's gonna get me good. Someone's gonna hit me, like gonna hit me while I'm lacking. And now the contract, that money, gone in an instant. Retirement, what about it? It's no longer on the
Well,
horizon.
what do you mean the money's gone in an instant? Because if you're getting like $12 million a year, bro, like you're definitely getting paid. You're definitely getting paid. The money's not like disintegrating or anything. Like you still have hella money to work with. Like 12 million, you could make generational wealth off $1 million probably. Like $12 million type shit, like an NBA contract for like a probably. What's like the average contract for like an NBA player? Let me look it up real quick. What's the average contract NBA
It is
player?
3.2 million.
3.2 million.
Yep.
Average NBA salary for the 2024-25 season is approximately 11.9 million.
That's the NBA. I'm talking the NFL. Excuse me. Excuse me.
Yeah, the
How about this?
NBA is 11.9 million.
No,
And
we were
I
brought this out
I don't know.
for
I just think it's wild, bro. It really is. It really is wild because like you're making so much money. That's the average player. That's not LeBron James. LeBron James is making $50 million a year, bro. Like 50
that goes
million.
back.
You think LeBron gives a fuck, bro? Like he is
Yeah,
getting like $50 million. Giannis, Damian
yeah.
Lillard, they're all getting $50 million a season, bro. Like at the end of the day, they
Do
don't
you think?
like they're
Sorry,
good. I'm not saying they're bad whatsoever, but I'm just saying like maybe that's a contributing factor for like more of the average players to not really to
and I'm,
coast
and I,
basically. Like when LeBron said Bronny was better than some of the NBA players, I think a lot of the reason some of the people gave validity to that statement was because like yeah, like some people it's not everybody, but like some people do coast in the NBA.
okay. And I can also say they could also say, oh well, when LeBron says that Bronny is better than a good amount of people in the NBA, their reasoning could also be LeBron is one of the best players in the NBA. His son is getting trained, let alone is playing with one of the best players in the NBA. That's talent. That's Bronny got given the keys to the kingdom. That is exactly what happened. No shit, no shit to Bronny. Nothing at all. He's put in the hard work and dedication. That does not mean he he didn't have those opportunities right fucking there. Like they weren't put they were kind of put right in front of him.
He was like a decent high school player, but like you have to remember he had that. I'm pretty sure he had like heart surgery his year in college,
He
and then
did, yes.
I think he went to the NBA after that.
He did, yeah.
Right?
He did. It was questionable, yeah.
Am I remembering that correctly?
You all remember that correctly. But to go back to the original point where I was like looking at the other side.
So really, like he really wasn't putting in the work because he couldn't because he was injured. That's why I said that because
I'm not talking about Bronny though. The only thing I was talking about with Bronny was he's a hardworking guy. He persevered. He has determination. He has a skill and a talent.
Yeah, sure.
He
is hardworking for sure.
But he was given the keys to the kingdom. And people could also say that Bronny is better than a good amount of people in the NBA. It could be because of the coaching, like they're making good money, so why should they try? But it also could be because
I would not say that. Hold on. What's Bronny's
I don't know.
Bronny's highest NBA game points wise? 17 points, bro. Hold on.
Let's see. It's 38. No, my bad.
That's got to be in the G League. He's never scored big
I'm
points
looking,
in the NBA.
I'm looking at the wrong.
He tied career high with 17 points on 7 out of 10 shooting from the field, knocked down 2 3-pointers, added 5 assists. So he got 17 and 5. That was his career high. And that was playing 35 minutes against the Warriors.
Okay. I don't want to get on the whole Bronny. I'm not talking about Bronny. I'm not him. I'm more like I want to go back to the original point of the conversation, which was I'm at this train of thought here. The whole fucking people, just because people are getting paid good doesn't mean they're gonna coast. And I wanted you to look at the other side because just because someone's getting paid good doesn't mean they're not worrying about what's gonna happen next. People, it's retirement money. This is true. This is coasting money. That is also true. I've got to try that part because I'm paid this good. That is also true. But also, looking from the other side, MJ, I'll give examples. MJ, Will Chamberlain, Magic Johnson, Steve Nash, Derrick Rose. All of them have had traumatic injuries affecting their sport. If they couldn't come back, that money is no longer guaranteed, and they don't know if they're going to see the light day when it comes to that money. Even if they did got that money.
Yeah, but unless you're a bust like Greg Oden.
Hold on. I'm still going. Hold on. Let me finish.
All right.
Even if they did get that money, they didn't stop doing as good as they were doing. MJ, like, we all know the story. MJ was too short. Still made to the fucking NBA league. He got the deal with Nike. I'm sorry, he got the deal with Nike, then Jordan, which made his own sub brand, and still kept going. He left the league, came back, and still put on a good performance. Derrick Rose, we all know, like, we all know iconically, Derrick Rose is famous for fucking up his legs. Like, we all know that, right? Like, he's fucked this shit up so many times. He's come back every single time, though. Same thing with Steve Nash. Magic Johnson got AIDS. Still balled out. He actually has his own like founders thing going on. He has his own association to spread awareness for AIDS. I'm sorry. You can go.
Nah, man. I was just gonna say it. I mean, unless you're like a complete bust like Greg Oden, like, and you have like a career-ending like injury, like before your contract is done, like Derrick Rose like already like proved himself, and like got his team to the finals. So regardless of his injury, even though it was one of the NBA's worst injuries, like teams were still gonna want him. Like he wasn't like an unwantable person, but also like of course that's gonna affect your trade value. But I mean, and you're saying like all that money's gone, but like a case like
No,
Derrick Rose, like bro, like the money was still there. It might have not been like crazy because yeah, that probably did affect his trade value, but I mean, the money was still there, bro. He was one of the faces of the NBA like around that time.
I'm sorry, not gone. I said not guaranteed. Not gone. It wasn't guaranteed. I do agree with the whole trade value, but it isn't guaranteed after the fact. How many times did Derrick Rose fuck that shit up?
Bro, NBA players get injured a lot. It just depends on the type of injury you're talking about. I looked it up. He was drafted in 2008 and he got injured and fucked up his knee in 2012.
257 times. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm tripping. One,
Wait,
two,
wait, wait.
three, four. 4 injuries. All of them were on his legs. Legs below. ACL, right meniscus, another right meniscus, left meniscus, and then ankle.